All right, so one day I'm driving home from work. I ran out of podcast. I'm blasting music, and I just started thinking about different things. And one of the things I started thinking about was beavers. They're kind of crazy. They're like, you know what they do, but like once you really think about it, you're like, damn, they're like naturally talented. Like they're kind of crazy. And I was thinking of like, what if there was a game where the beavers were just kind of doing what they're doing, but like you give them weapons, and then they're like in team objectives against each other. So now I'm making a game, and yeah, and you play as beavers, and I gave them guns. So yeah, so the idea of the game is that the one team has the dam, and the other team has their dam, and they're trying to stop each other. And one team's trying to build their dam first, and I gave them guns, so like now they could like jump into the air like super high up with rocket explosions, because I guess that doesn't kill them, and they found out how rocket launchers work. And now they're trying to, you know, make their team proud and beat the other team. So I guess that's as far as the lore goes right now. Maybe one day I'll just sit down and write down the beaver lore. My girlfriend is super supportive, and she got me these 2 books. So maybe I would just sit down and really grind these books out and write some lore based on these. But for now, that's the lore. Yeah, so this is like my first game. I've never made a game before. I'm showing like some footage in the background of the game that I'm making right now, and you could see I'm really bad at it. There's a lot of bugs. The 3D modeling is terrible. The animation is terrible. The graphics are okay. I mean, they look bad, but I was kind of going for like a PS1 charming kind of look. But I do code. I do program. So that part hasn't been as bad as the other parts. It's still pretty bad, but it's not as bad as the other parts. I do have a background in software engineering, but I've never made a game before. It's always been kind of like taunting. There is like a video I saw in high school, and it was like one of those Day of the Lives ones, but it was like a professional one where somebody was recording somebody else, and I think they were recording some guy who worked at like Bandai Namco, and like it just sucked. Like he was just like working all day, and then like something happened where like the game was like doing bad and stuff, and I was like, damn, like you do this bad, you slave away all day, and like the game sucks. And then like people just like message you and be like, dude, your game sucks. Like, it just seems like I was like, why would I want to do that? Even though I've like sunk thousands of hours into gaming. And I was a programmer. So it was like, maybe one day I will try. But I never thought it was gonna be so soon, I guess. So yeah, like one day I'm telling my friends this idea. I thought it would be like, dude, that's like stupid, but like they seem kind of like, that actually sounds kind of fun. So then I started learning. I started learning how to do game dev. And I started off with Godot, and I was so naive that, I spent these couple weeks making this capsule move, and then you're just like, oh man, I did it. Like, this is gonna be so easy. And I was even gonna record one of these like all the way back then when I only had the capsule and the gun like moving like this, you know? But then you try to do multiplayer, and your first game is multiplayer, and you're thinking, why is your first game multiplayer? And everything's going wrong. The other player joins the game, and you don't know why they're not moving. You don't know why they're doing the exact opposite that they should be doing on one player's screen, and then on the other player's screen they're doing something completely different. And like next thing you know, it's been like a couple months. And I remember thinking like, man, should I switch engines? Not even like should I stop? Like should I just switch from Godot to like Unreal? Because like I wasn't seeing a lot of multiplayer tutorials for Godot, like a lot of single player things. And I love Godot. Godot was cool. But just for like what I wanted to do, it just seemed like it wasn't it. The summer goes by, and a lot of it, yeah, again, a lot of it's just learning. I've never done game dev before, so it's just learning. Switch to Unreal Engine, and it's like, okay, well, all the learning you did, you got to learn for Unreal Engine now. And the gameplay concepts are like, pretty, the same, but using the engine is like, well, there's like 50 settings. There's like 100 settings. There's millions of settings. Not even like the more you figure out, it's like what, they have a setting for this, like they have a page for this, they have a window for this. And like the more you keep going, it's like, damn, should I stop? But to go back, I was thinking of the game in the car, like in April, thinking of this game. And during the summer, you're learning game dev. And then October is like when it's like, okay, like you kind of got something. Like you got like a real thing. And then this is when I say like, not the learning stops, but the gameplay and the game devs, like the actual development like starts, like real development for the idea that you have. Because before everything is like, I need to move and I need to see the other player moving and like just basic concepts like that. But then, where I was in October was like, okay, we could actually start getting to like beavers with guns and, fighting each other in the game. This sounds so bad. But yeah, so like October comes around, the development lifts off, and since then, I mean, it's February 5th right now, and like the rate of development and progress has just been crazy since then. So like with that, I started playtesting. I started playtesting like a very basic prototype of the game, which is just like a team deathmatch kind of setting. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to like kind of get into this playtesting mode, and it like really kind of made me think about why I was making the game and like why I was having so much fun, even though it was taking so long to make this game, and so much work and so much uncertainty behind it, and like it made me really realize that it's fun because I played games all my life. I've tried making YouTube channels and Twitch streaming, me playing games and having all these fun times with my friends, and these are some of the most precious memories that I have. And it's just cool kind of having the thing that I imagined in my head come to life, and then seeing my friends kind of, it kind of rekindled that like that motivation. Even though I was really motivated to like make the game, I was like, okay, now I really want to make it like super fun. If me and my friends are having this much fun, then maybe like a bunch of other people can too. Maybe there's some people out there who play the game and maybe they start recording it or streaming it or sharing it with their friends, and it becomes these unforgettable memories for them too. And ever since I kind of started thinking about that, I was like, wow, like I gotta make this game. I just have to. Like it just feels like I just really have to at this point. I don't know. It just feels like there's no maybe like real reason except that like I have to. This is just what I have to do at this point, and I'm gonna try as hard as possible to make the game fun and make it that people have fun in the game, even though I know there's a lot of uncertainty with game dev and it's real hard. But I know it's gonna take 100%, but I'll work 120%. I'll work 130%. All those kind of cliche things you hear is like you gotta work hard. You really feel it, but when you're doing it and it's really fun and you really love it, it's just like you just do it. You do it no matter what. So I hope this game gets to where I want it to be and people have fun playing it whenever that time comes. And I hope in this channel that people get to like follow along the progress and stuff, and hopefully the videos get better, because I know I said that I've been making YouTube videos and like Twitch streaming in the past, but I was never really good at like editing or making the videos. I always felt like I was just a cameraman and recording like the good times and stuff. I never really sat down and talked to a camera, so it's kind of weird. But yeah, I mean that's the whole idea behind the game, what it is, what this YouTube channel is going to be, just recording the progress and sharing it with everybody. So maybe one day if the game gets big, even if it doesn't, it's a cool thing to look back on and say like, well, I did that, and it was fun. So yeah, I just want to say thank you for watching the video. First video, probably really bad quality, but I'll get better. I'll get better, just like the game has. And yeah, thank you.